Hello and welcome back. It's Jennifer. Today I have another product release close-up video. This video will focus on the newest release from Fawn. I do these product release close-up videos when I find a release that I really think is fantastic, and this definitely fits the bill. I will give you a close look at each of the products in the release and some ideas for using them. Here's the first one. This is Fawn Critters in the Arctic. Now they're Fawn's known for cute little critters, and this set is fantastic. I really like the piece of ice on the bottom that you can put the seal on, and there's some fun sentiments that go with it. Now what I think this would be fun to do is to stamp these little critters on different pattern papers and do some paper piecing. This moose, I'm dying to string some Christmas lights on his antler. Is that what you call it? I guess you call it an antler. Anyways, string it across to just give it a little festive feel. And I thought this little acorn over in this stamp set here to the left, which I'll show you in a moment, you could make that colored lights and just draw some strings in there, or use a string stamp down here on the bottom and just kind of connect it across the top of the moose there, and be just something fun to do. So that's one thing you'll be seeing in a video soon. And Fawn pretty much has matching dies that you can get for almost all their stamp sets, and I just keep those in the back of my stamp pockets. I also thought this stamp set on the left, this new little one that says Happy Holidays, I thought that little penguin would be fun to put on that ice piece over on the right. I like that a lot of these stamp sets go together well. And that sentiment that says Have an Ice Day, oh, that's just adorable. With that penguin in the ice, I think that'd be fantastic. So in the same stamp pocket is another little stamp set that's new, the Sending Hedgehogs. I like these small Fawn stamp sets because they're not expensive and they always have adorable images on it. This one I want to use some embossing paste or texture paste and color it brown so I can kind of give some texture to these little hedgehogs. I think they're super cute. I love that Fawn's got a look that they stick to and just do it so well. And there are dies that you can get to go with these stamps. Now this one I showed you briefly before. This is a great stamp set for kind of building a scene. You've got the little string over on the top right. You can hang a cute little birdhouse from it, from the little trees that you see over on the left. There's just lots of pieces that you can put together. I am dying to stamp and die cut these trees, and then kind of a banner that kind of waves through the trees, and then you can stamp a sentiment on it. I really like the sentiments on top of the stamp set. I think they're fun and playful. This little fox is just absolutely adorable and would be perfect for practicing some Copic blending. As I mentioned, the stamp set is great for building a scene, which brings me to the stitched hillside borders that Fawn has just come out with. I love these because they cut the perfect hillside with a nice little stitched edge or faux stitched edge along it, and it goes great with this stamp set. You could even use these to create waves on a card. Lots of things you can do with them. Now, I like that Fawn has like a particular look that they kind of stick with, so you can mix the sets up really well. But this new one from Fawn kind of has like a classy feel to it. It stays a little playful, but it can kind of go any direction, and I love that. You could stamp a wreath with it with all the pine needles and the pine cones. I think it'd be fun to kind of have some pine kind of hanging across a card, and then take the ornaments that is in the stamp set over to the right and have them hanging from that. So you can mix these stamp sets so well. They work so well together because all the sizes are about the same, so they work together well. Now, I wanted to also mention that there are dies that go with this stamp set, and I think they're definitely good ones because then you don't have to cut out the tree branches, or you don't have to cut out the little ornaments. Now back to this stamp set real quick. I thought it'd be fun to do kind of like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree where you stamp the trunk in the middle and then just have the little branches sticking off the sides. I think it'd be fun to do that. And then you also have this dotted line that would be great for like a little shadow underneath the tree. I like that there's little berries and other little snowflakes and such that can kind of build to create a really great background, or like a wreath, as I mentioned. And of course there are dies that you can get to go with it. Now, I have this new Snow Day stamp set over on the left sitting out on my desk just ready to use. I love the heart on the bottom with the scarf that you can stamp on top of the heart and then stamp the message "You warm my heart." Or you can use that scarf on some of these other critters on the stamp set to the right, like across the seal or around the owl. I love that because I'm always finding myself drawing my own scarf, so now I've got one. I also like that there's two bunnies in the stamp set that kind of would be perfect to kind of hold hands up there on the top right. So this doesn't have to be a holiday card. You could use this for other occasions too. Those little bunnies would be perfect for other things. And I also like that there's a bunch of tiny little images on the bottom left, like the music notes and the asterisk and the little hearts and dots. That's fun to kind of scatter on a card. Now that the little trees that you see in the wave on the stamp set, they go nicely with the stitch border dies that I showed you before too. So again, these all work together really well. And I gotta say, I love the heart in that stamp set and in this die set. I'm picky on my hearts and I really like both of these quite a bit, so I'll be using those often. Here's another fun one. This is got a bunch of different kind of latte and coffee greetings. It's called Love You Latte. Lots of pieces that you can build together to create an adorable little scene. I love the smiley faces that you can put onto each of the cups. Just makes it more playful, or you can leave those off and kind of have more of a classic feel to it. I also like that you have the sentiments that look like the steam coming up from each of the drinks, but you really don't have to use them that way. In fact, I thought that smile sentiment that's on the right and the thanks sentiment that's on the top and the for you in the middle would fit perfectly in a heart die cut. It's kind of got that little wave that goes underneath it that comes to a point that I think would be great in the point of a heart. So you could just die cut a heart and then stamp this in the center of it, so they don't have to be used with the coffee theme. And of course, there are dies that go with it. Now sometimes with small images like this, I'm not sure how to put them on a big card, so I really like this die set, this small stitched rectangle stackables die set from Lawn Fawn. This is a new release, and I've seen some dies like this before, but I really like that they cover all the sizes here, and I'll show you that in a moment. But all these little images fit nicely in the center of these rectangles. So you get the nice stitched edge and a nice finishing touch and a place to put the smaller images on a large card. Now in this small rectangle die set, there's a larger one which I'll show you in a little bit, but this is the biggest die in the small set, and it does a nice piece that fits in the center of a card. This is a regular note card that I'm showing you here, so it's a nice finished edge, and then there's several smaller sizes in this set. But I think this is great for when you have a lot of little images and you need somewhere to put them. Now this is another new stamp set here. This is part of the new release, but these tags are part of an older release, and they've come out with 3 different stamp sets that fit with these tags, which I really love. Lots of great thanks images here, and this would be something that you could use all year long definitely, and lots of little icons that kind of decorate the tag. I personally love this tag in the middle because you can like white heat emboss this tag onto the die cut and it gives you that nice finished edge with the faux stitching. Here's another new stamp set. This is the Argyle Backdrops. Now this is one that you can build up to create a great background or border. You can stamp one of the images and stamp the other on top of it, and then add these 2 little images on the bottom on top. Or you can leave them separate. I think it'd be fun to stamp either of those borders repeatedly on the background and white heat emboss it, and then do some fun watercolor over it, and you would have the color kind of pooling up in between all the embossing. I really think that dashed line pattern would be great for a background, so I'll definitely be using that one, or you can create your own Argyle. Now there is one more cute, adorable, just adorable stamp set that I forgot to mention earlier. This would go well with that coffee set that I showed you before, but the little cookies, you can put the faces on them, and then the We Belong Together, the milk and cookies image. Absolutely adorable, and I can't wait to use this for notes in my kids' lunches. So I think it would go really well with this Love You Latte set that I showed you before. You can put a little cookie with your coffee, or you can put the little peppermint stick into your milk. So lots of things that you can team together. Next we have an alphabet set. Now I will tell you that I sometimes am hesitant to try alphabet sets because I have a hard time lining them up and I don't want to take the time. What Lawn Fawn has done here is they've cut the plastic that's around it, or the stamp that kind of sticks out the side that actually sticks to the block, really tightly in. So all you have to do is put these right up against each other and they will stamp perfectly. It makes it so easy. So you can see I'm easily just quickly taking these letters off, lining them up on a block, just putting them right up against each other, and when I stamp it I get great positioning. The letters aren't too far apart, they're not too big, so you can do a whole sentiment along a card, or you can just personalize a card. I love that violet stamp set. Okay, now is the sweater weather stamp set with the tree that you can build up in many different ways. So what I plan to do is stamp the tree, and then you can just take that large cluster of leaves and just stamp it right on top of it, and they're perfectly positioned. Or you can skip those leaves all together and just stamp a bunch of little hearts all over the tree. Lots of little images that you can put together and build up. You could even turn this tree on the side and have it coming off the edge of a card and make it look like a branch and have some leaves or acorns on it. I also like the sentiments on here. That font is really fun. And of course you can get a die set to match this. Next up, we have a Halloween stamp set, the Spooktacular. Now, for all you cat people, I think this has got to be one of the cutest cat stamps I've ever seen. So even if you're not into Halloween, you might like it just for that cat stamp. Now, there is a witch's hat that I thought would be fun to put on any of the other critter images we have from Lawn Fawn. So you could put on your hedgehog, you could put on your fox, just to have something a little bit different and maybe a little less spooky, I guess. I like that there's a lot of candy images in here, so I can make some cute little notes for my son's lunchbox. I don't know that my teenager wants any of these in her lunchbox, but I think my son would enjoy them. And of course, you can get the little dies to cut them out. Now this is my favorite of the new kind of Halloween stamp sets, but really it's not all that Halloween. It's called Monster Mash, and it's just playful, and this is perfect for little kids' notes, especially for boys. You can put Google eyes on these. You've got sending you monster hugs. I think you're neat. Absolutely fun. Doesn't have to be just for Halloween, but all year round. And you can color these any way you want to. Add fun little things like Google eyes, and you're good to go. And of course, you can get the dies that match just to make it quick and easy to put together. I really like that they offer those for everybody who likes dies to match their stamps. Now here is the forest border die. I really love border dies like this, and I've used them many times in videos before. And what's fun is this stitched hillside border die. There is one that goes along with, kind of matches up to the forest border die, so you can create a really cool background with this. I'm looking forward to doing a very simple card where I'd maybe do some die cut inlaying, which I've done many videos in the past for, and maybe do like a foil paper with a blue sky behind it, just to keep it simple and classy. I love this Joy die. I'm a big fan of the handwritten greeting dies that Lawn Fawn has come out with. They've come out with thanks and hello, which I use often, so I was happy to see that there is a holiday sentiment. I think it'd be fantastic to cut this from gold foil and you have a really classic embellishment for a simple card. Now I believe this is my favorite of all the things in this release. These stitched snowflakes, they have the little faux stitching within them, lots of great sizes in one set. I think it'd be fun to die cut a bunch of these and then use the border dies, the stitched border dies, to kind of make it look like the snow is falling. So use the border dies vertically and make it look like the snow is falling. So I'm hoping that I can create that in a video and share that with you soon. But you could die cut these snowflakes from silver foil or from silver glitter paper and get some fantastic snowflakes. Here are two new die sets from Lawn Fawn. There's the alphabet and there is a matching number set. Now I will admit I use these die sets a lot for my kids' school projects. Whenever you need letters, you don't need to buy a bunch of stickers. You can cut these out of thick things like chipboard. I use them quite a bit, and I love to personalize cards too. Okay, now earlier I showed you the small rectangle stitched stackables. Now here is the large. The large actually cuts a piece of paper that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 and then has this faux stitched edge sitting right inside of that. What I decided to do was take the large set and the small set and put them together. I know that the biggest outline or biggest rectangle is from the large set, and every other one going in from that is from the large set, and the others are from the small. But look at how these all fit together. What I'd like to do is do some fun die cut inlaying with all of these stacked within each other, and then put a simple sentiment right in the center of it. This kind of, between these two sets, you're kind of covered for all of the layering sizes that you might possibly need. So they're great tools to have. Great for any kind of card. Now this is a fun new die from Lawn Fawn, and let me show you what it creates. I asked Kelly over at Lawn Fawn if I could share this picture with you. This is something she created. This is a little treat bag, and look how adorable it is. It's perfect for like a little cookie or a little present, but you could also put a gift card in it. So it's something other than just a card when you're giving a gift card. They actually have something they can hold on to, and you can decorate this in so many ways. It's very easy to assemble. You just cut 2 pieces from the die, and then you just glue them together and it folds right in place. And I'll link to a YouTube video where Lawn Fawn shows you how it's done. Super easy and such a fun thing for the holidays and throughout the year. I give teachers a lot of gift cards, and this will be perfect to make it a little extra special. Now there are some other non-Stampin' Die products. Here are 2 6x6 paper pads from Lawn Fawn. One is called Sweater Weather, and when you flip through, what I like about these packs, or these paper pads, is there are some tiny patterns that are kind of tone on tone, and they match perfectly with the patterns that have a little more going on with it. So you can team them up together very easily. You don't have to put much thought into it. I love this piece. Definitely will be using that one. Lots of great kind of fall images in here. along with some splashes of red and green. And check out this one. It's got these cute little hearts falling from the top. Absolutely adorable. The other stamp, or the other paper pad, has more holiday images in it. I love the red with the snowflakes, and this just won my heart. They're cute little things that you can use as tags on your presents, and I always run out of the cute tags that I make, and then I end up having to use the ugly stickers I bought at the store. Well, instead, I've got 2 sheets of this in this paper pad that I will definitely be reaching for. Lots of different patterns in here, and there's multiples of the sheets. So definitely 2 paper pads that are worth checking out. In many past videos, I have used these smaller note cards from Lawn Fawn. They have some polka dot ones that they came out with in the past. Now they have these fun wood grain, and I love it. I love that they're smaller note card size, so you can use the smaller Lawn Fawn images on it, and they don't kind of feel swallowed by a big card. I love these. I like to use them inside out too, so that I have the white on the outside. In the past, they've had white envelopes to go with the small size card, and now they have craft, which I just think is absolutely adorable, and you can mail these like you would any card. Just something fun and different to work with. Then we have the Lawn Fawn trimmings. I like that this is a little more like stiffness to it than baker's twine, so you can kind of form it into an easy bow with it kind of hanging down real nicely. It doesn't just kind of hang there kind of limp. So I think the trimmings are a lot of fun, and I love the colors they came out with. Now the adhesive flare. I honestly don't use these on cards much, but you know what I use these on? On packages. I use these on gift bags a lot, and I actually have put a couple of them on my daughter's hair bows just for something fun and different. So these flares are definitely adorable. And then my favorite of all the embellishments they came out with, the wood veneer snowflakes and the leaves. Look at those leaves. I can't wait to try to do letterpress with these. I've done a video in the past. I'll link to it here, where you do letterpress with wood veneer, and then you can heat emboss your wood veneer. I love these shapes. I think they're fantastic, and I like that they're not too small. So there you have it, the newest release from Lawn Fawn. I had to squeeze a lot in here because there were so many great products. If you're interested in them, I link to multiple sources for the products in my YouTube description below. Also over on my blog at jennifermcguireinc.com, I have much more information along with a giveaway of some of these products. Now, I hope to be back soon sharing some ways to use these products, actually putting them into motion, and I hope this helps you decide if any of them work for you. Thanks so much for watching.